There are cars that change the industry. And then there are cars that change the future. The Citroën DS did both. When it debuted in Paris in 1955, it didn't merely look different from every other car on the road. It looked like it had landed from another planet. In fact, that's exactly what many people thought. While most manufacturers were building cars that resembled refined versions of pre-war designs, Citroën unveiled something astonishing. A machine so advanced, so elegant and so unconventional that it left the automotive world stunned. The Citroën DS. A car that was decades ahead of its time. And perhaps the most important French automobile ever created. But what if Citroën never stopped chasing that spirit of innovation? What if the company continued pushing boundaries with the same courage that created the original DS? What would a modern DS look like today? This is our answer. The 2030 Citroën DS30. To understand why the DS became legendary, we first need to travel back to 1955. The world was still recovering from the Second World War. Most cars were simple, conservative, predictable. Then Citroën arrived at the Paris Motor Show. What happened next became automotive history. More than 12,000 orders were placed on the first day. By the end of the show, over 80,000 people had committed to buying one. The automotive world had never seen anything like it. And once you understand the car, it becomes obvious why. The styling looked futuristic. The aerodynamics were revolutionary. The interior was unlike anything else on the road. But the true genius sat underneath. Hydropneumatic suspension. A system that allowed the car to float over rough roads with a level of comfort that embarrassed luxury cars costing far more. Drivers described the experience as gliding. Passengers described it as flying. Even today, many enthusiasts believe no car has ever quite matched the ride quality of the original DS. But the innovation didn't stop there. The DS introduced self-leveling suspension, power-assisted steering, power-assisted braking, semi-automatic transmission technology, directional headlights that turned with the steering wheel. Many features that became common decades later appeared first on the DS. This wasn't simply a car. It was a vision of the future. And that future arrived early. Now imagine another timeline. A world where Citroën never stopped pursuing bold ideas. A world where comfort, elegance and innovation remained more important than conformity. Welcome to the 2030 Citroën DS30. At first glance, the family resemblance is unmistakable. The long flowing silhouette remains. The dramatic tapering rear remains. The distinctive covered rear wheels remain. The elegant proportions remain. Yet every surface has evolved. The body has been sculpted using advanced aerodynamic modeling. Active airflow systems improve efficiency. Hidden sensors are seamlessly integrated into the design. The result is a vehicle that feels unmistakably DS while looking decades ahead of its competitors. Unlike many modern luxury vehicles that focus solely on performance, the DS21 remains committed to comfort. Because comfort was always the soul of the original. Power comes from a dual-motor all-wheel drive electric powertrain producing 476 horsepower and 700 Nm of torque. Performance is effortless. 0 to 100 km/h takes just 4.6 seconds. Top speed reaches 200 km/h. Range exceeds 700 km. Yet raw performance is not the headline. The suspension is. Because no DS would be complete without reinventing ride quality. The original hydropneumatic suspension became legendary. The 2030 DS30 introduces its spiritual successor. Hydractive Infinity. Using predictive sensors, cameras and artificial intelligence, the vehicle scans the road ahead hundreds of times every second. Potholes. Speed humps. Road imperfections. Everything is detected before the wheels reach it. The suspension then adjusts in real time. The goal is simple: to make the road disappear. Passengers don't feel like they're driving. They feel like they're floating. Exactly as they did in 1955. Handling has evolved dramatically as well. The original DS prioritized comfort above all else. The modern version combines comfort with remarkable agility. Rear-wheel steering improves maneuverability in cities. Active torque vectoring enhances cornering precision. Adaptive dampers continuously balance ride comfort and control. The result is a car that glides when cruising and responds confidently when pushed. Then there is the technology. But unlike many modern vehicles, the DS30 doesn't overwhelm occupants with screens. Technology exists to reduce stress, not create it. The cabin feels more like a luxury lounge than a traditional automobile. Soft ambient lighting. Premium sustainable materials. Exceptional sound insulation. Elegant French craftsmanship. Everything has been designed around human comfort. One particularly unique feature is the intelligent co-pilot system. Known as Clairvoyance Assist, it continuously monitors driver attention, fatigue and road conditions. If the system detects dangerous distraction or signs of exhaustion, it can provide warnings, increase assistance and even safely bring the vehicle to a controlled stop if necessary. Importantly, it can be switched off, because the driver remains in command. Always. Manufacturing has also transformed. The original DS was groundbreaking but challenging to build. The 2030 version benefits from advanced composites, lightweight aluminum structures and digital engineering tools capable of simulating millions of real-world scenarios before production even begins. Safety standards are dramatically higher. Efficiency is dramatically improved. Yet the philosophy remains unchanged. Challenge convention. Question assumptions. Invent the future. The original DS proved that cars did not need to follow established rules. The 2030 DS30 continues that tradition. In a world increasingly filled with vehicles that look alike, sound alike and feel alike, the DS remains something different. Something brave. Something elegant. Something uniquely French. The original DS shocked the world in 1955. The 2030 DS30 asks a simple question. What if Citroën never stopped building the future? Perhaps it would look exactly like this. The 2030 Citroën DS30. Heritage of innovation. Comfort beyond time. The future respects the legend.